All right, I moved up here just about 7 years ago now. Kaizen Automotive Group, my employer, bought a local dealership in town. So I moved up here right when we bought it. And it was interesting, before I moved up here, I had people that I hardly knew that were essentially coming out of the woodwork to tell me about all these horror stories about Fort McMurray and why it was not a good place to raise a family and whatnot. I moved up here, and just a few months after moving up here, we had the forest fire in 2016. It was the first time for a lot of people to really get to see what Fort McMurray was actually all about, to see the incredible people come together and to help each other. People got to interact with people that were force evacuated out of this town, ended up in Edmonton and in Calgary and all across the province. People got to meet the real people that live here. The people here are like nowhere else. I've got to live in a lot of different places across Canada. I've lived down in the United States. It's amazing to me. Fort McMurray, I've never met people that are so proud of where they're at and are so grateful for what their town has done for them. And whether that's industry or whether that is different opportunities, they're so welcoming and so warm. Fort McMurray is full of people who decided they wanted a better life for them, they wanted a better life for their family, so they moved here, took the risk, packed everything up for a 2-year, 3-year plan to make some money. 5, 10, 20 years later, this is home. It's really remarkable, and it's so great to see that pride and the passion. You don't find that anywhere else. So I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's not a family town. The life that we've been able to build in Fort McMurray is so different than what I had expected. You move here and you sink your roots into Fort McMurray, it is such an incredible family place. Every weekend we're hiking in the Birchwood trails, and they've got ski hills here and recreation centers. You can go boating and kayaking. There's just so much to do for a family that people always think about Fort Mac as a place to go and make money and to get into bad things, and that's just so far from the actual truth. I've worked for the Kaizen Automotive Group for 10 years now. So I'm the general manager for Summit GM, dealership in Fort McMurray. It's been interesting. When I moved up here, we bought an old dealership, and then we actually purchased a hotel, and we moved the business over to a hotel in town. And so we're able to recruit people from anywhere and bring them here with the intention of staying for a short time in our staff housing and then moving, because once they get here and they see all the things that I've come to love about Fort McMurray, then they bring their family and then they make this their home. And I really think that's one of the things that we need to be doing in this region, is helping people see more than just come here to make money and send that home or take that home with you. It's come here and see that this is such a great place to make a home. Everyone that comes here says the same thing. It's way different than they thought. People, they always comment on the people, and we have people that come visit us from all over the place. They comment on how great the people are, how welcoming the town is, and how much more beautiful it is than they expected. That's what we need to do to continue to grow Fort McMurray, instead of just being a place to come and make money and to spend your time before you go and do something else. Like, this can be and should be the best city in Alberta to live in. I honestly, truly believe that with the resources we have, but we need to stop thinking about it as being an oil sands only community where it's just fly in, work for the oil sites and fly out. Fort McMurray is a way better place to live than having to pay you to come and do your time here. Kaizen meaning continuous improvement. And so we're always looking for ways to grow and improve and to be better. And Rick, our owner, has always taught me that wherever we go, we always sink our roots deep into the community. Everything he does and everything that we do is long-term. And so we moved to Fort McMurray in 2016. Oil price, I think, was at 20 bucks a barrel. Everyone thought we were crazy to do this transaction. So the town I didn't know, the business I didn't entirely know, but I met the people and I thought, if these are the people I get to work with, I can figure the rest out. And now 7 years later, we've built a new store and CarStar and Hertz and everything else. It's been a wild ride through floods and fires and pandemics and oil trading at negative dollars a barrel. I would have never predicted it, but it's been incredible, an incredible experience, an incredible journey that I'm really excited to see what the next 10 years bring. I think the energy sector creates so much for us here in Alberta, but also across the country. Canada and Alberta would look much, much different had the oil sands not done what it has done for our great country here. We need to be committed to protecting the environment, but there are a few places that do a better job of that than here. You see, they take pictures of the oil sands and the stacks and the steam that's coming out, but they don't showcase the beautiful trees in the reclaimed areas that they literally have taken the sand out of the ground and they cleaned the oil off of the sand and put the sand back and planted trees and have really made a beautiful landscape, and they don't showcase that anywhere. One of the biggest struggles and one of the biggest obstacles is not the environment. I think it is human nature's reaction to overcorrect. We see this all the time. You're driving down and if you swerve a little bit, it's natural to overcorrect and then cause bigger issues. Or in California, they say that they're going to ban fossil fuel cars and it's got to be all electric, and the next day they asked everyone not to charge their cars because of brownouts. There are so many more products, so much more demand for petroleum and for gas and for all of these different resources that we have in abundance here, that if we shift our focus too far from this, people are going to stop investing. And if people stop investing into this area of the world and into this industry, we're going to lose what we have worked so hard and have spent so much money building, and then all of a sudden we're going to fast forward and realize that we overcorrected, and it might be too late. Fort McMurray is the poster child for being a responsible and being an environmentally friendly and being a great ambassador and steward for our planet, while also creating incredible jobs and good money and good opportunity for people and hope and rebuilds families back together. But yet you see in the news all the time that we're destroying the world. But that's just so far from the truth. Fort McMurray has proved time and time again, year after year after year. You see them doing it better, you see them doing it cleaner, you see them doing it smarter and faster and more efficient than all these other countries, and still maintaining a profitable way to do it in comparison to other areas of the world that are producing oil that don't have the same standards that companies in Fort McMurray do. So shortages mean increase and inflation. And so if we stop investing in Fort McMurray and we start producing less, and there's more people that step out of the sector, what that's going to do is going to drive prices up. I had someone ask me what my opinion was on how we can better represent Fort McMurray across the province, across the country. And I think one thing Alberta, and certainly Fort McMurray, is known for is oil and gas and whatnot. But I think we need to spend more of our dollars attracting people because of the quality of life that Alberta and Fort McMurray offers. And I think we need to spend less time focused on come here to make a bunch of money and more time talking about why Alberta is so great. I think that right now, Alberta should be experiencing an incredible boom because of the price of gas, the price of oil, and what's happening right now. We should have a better quality of life right now. We should be able to do more for the rest of the country, for the rest of the world, because of the money that we should be generating right now, but we're not.